oversaturation and multifamily. To me, it was surprising because we don't have an oversaturation multifamily here because we don't have a lot of multifamily. So how is that happening in the valley? Like, are they building brand new fourplexes, or are these fourplexes that were already in place? What's going on there? If you can dive deep into that, and what kind of investments you do see that would be something good in the valley right now.
Yeah, so there's multifamilies popping up like crazy, brand new builds being built almost every day. They're still coming up a lot in the Harlingen area. There's quite a few. We had a builder even build one for us, for one of our clients. Edinburgh actually, because of the university, has a lot of fourplexes that are coming up everywhere, and so they're just popping up. There is a surplus. When we were headed over to Mexico, when Nate was with us last week, there's brand new ones in Westlaco, and they're all brand new. There's so many of them, so they're being built all the time. Is it still a good investment? I think yes. There's still a lot of renters. We're still running into a lot of people who are not qualifying for homes still, and not necessarily, that they're afraid of the interest rate. They just can't. They don't qualify, so they do have to rent.
So the thing about it is that that because of fake news, right? The fake news that there's tons of immigrants rushing the border. The country has deployed all agencies to the border. You have customs, you have what's the other? There's border patrol.
Border patrol's there.
There's all of them. Homeland Security, everybody. And so what happens is that a lot of these people they think they're going to be there temporarily, so they stay in hotels. And so if you go, I mean, if you don't check in, if you don't get a hotel a week in advance, you literally have to stay in another city because they're so packed. And every morning when you walk downstairs, it's nothing but all the agencies meeting downstairs. So what that did was it created a need for rental, right? But it created a need for short term rental is a thing. So nobody wanted to lock in a year because nobody knew they're going to stay there for a year. So it made a huge Airbnb market there. And I think I've said that before. In the Valley, Airbnb is awesome because you have all these agencies. And then also you have all the Mexicans that come shopping to the United States. And so it's a great market for that. So, on paper, ideally, it's kind of like the medical center, right? On paper, looks like a great investment to buy and build something there, but it's really not. And that's what happened to the Valley. Everybody just, and because there's so much capital there, there's so many people that know how to build homes. They just started building without a plan.
So that was going to be my next question, because from my understanding, there's not necessarily a lot of work in the Valley that requires people to relocate there for work, like here in Houston, right?
Exactly.
That's why our rental market here in Houston is always pretty stable and good, simply because we have people who come down here from out of state to work, do a turnaround 6 months to a year. They don't want to stay in an apartment or in a hotel, so they get the rental properties. That was going to be my next question. Like, where are they getting the people for these fourplexes?
So that's I just told you from all the agencies, and in my opinion, this is just like Odessa and like West Texas. Oil goes low and everybody's out there working. The oil goes too high and everybody comes back. And there's really not worth you building anything out there. Everything needs to be temporary. So now that's what we're having. We're having all the people come back, because right now Biden really doesn't care about the border, right? And so everybody's coming back. So now you have all of these multifamily properties that are available. And so, since everybody has been promoting multifamily, and now people are, saying, hey, that's the way to go. That, some of them are considered commercial, right? And so, people think it's a big flex to list those properties or to sell, or
to even
So
build.
I'm guessing that there's not a lot of like restrictions like city wise.
No,
that's
Like
why
zoning.
zoning, because that's why they keep on popping out like all over the place.
It's interesting that you guys say that, because we have a new listing. Actually, one of my agents got a listing. This house is being built, and it's a brand new build. And the funny thing about it is that our client, the seller, was telling us there's a triplex next door, right next to us, and or right next to the house. And he's like, hey, this is exciting. And I'm like, no, only it's not, because they're supposed to all be houses, and now you have a triplex next door. So no.
Yeah, and that's actually that that place had an Airbnb in there that Cam stayed in for $40 a night.
$40 a night.
Yeah, yeah. It was a small 1-bedroom fourplex.
Fourplex.
Right?
Fourplex.
And he was staying there for $40 a night.
Wait,
And
so how does that not sink the hotel business there? Because from what I understand, there really isn't a luxury hotel business.
There's a handful of hotels.
I was gonna say there's not a lot of hotels, but the amount of people that come to the valley, especially Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the shopping, that come there from Mexico. There's a lot of people, and that's why I always say, even though we're small, we have a lot of room for a lot of business.
So I'm gonna tell you a funny story about the valley and hotels, right?
Oh no.
You know, whenever my clients come in from out of town, right, they always want to stay in the gallery, right? Or they want to stay, you know, like in downtown. And so I always go to the hotel and I'll meet them in the lobby, right? We talk at the bar, eat at the restaurant, etc. Right? I mean, even like 2 weekends ago, right? I rented the hotel, Hilton of Americas. My clients came in and we worked there and we hung out. And I think I met all of my realtors there that day, right? Too. Like I was working, right? So I'm just used to that. I'm used to going to hotel lobbies, hotel bars. We go to the, to the Four Seasons and we have our meetings there and meet with clients and whatever, right? So it's not a big deal. Everybody knows that that's what you do, right? So when I started doing business in McAllen, right? The I guess luxury hotel that they have, the most luxury hotel they have there is actually an Embassy Suites. It's actually not bad. It's a nice hotel. The bar is nice and it's really clean and everything. And it's kind of expensive too. So when I would get there, there was people that I wanted to meet with, right? And I would say, hey, meet me at the hotel. And they're like, and they'd be all weird. Why? And I'm like, well, because I'm staying in the hotel. And the hotel has a huge lobby. There's couches down there. There's bar. And they're like, oh, no, I can't, no, let's meet at a restaurant or let's meet somewhere else. I'm like, okay. And it was a little bit inconvenient, right? But I never really thought anything about it. But then one time, one of the guys I was dealing with told me, oh, man, he goes, I can't meet with you at the hotel, man. And my wife looks at my location and sees me at the hotel. and I'm like, are you serious, bro? I said, does your wife not know that you're a businessman, that, that you're working on builds? And he's like, yeah, but still, if he sees me, and same thing with like, I was trying to recruit a couple of realtors, and there was this one woman realtor, right? She had like this organization, right? And I'm like, hey, meet me at the hotel. She's like, why? Like, she thought I was trying to hit on her, and I'm like, no. I said, I mean, so she was telling me, no, don't tell the people to the hotel. Let's meet them somewhere else. I'm like, okay, let's go to some freaking.
They thought you were the Puffy of real estate, or what?
I guess so.
This sounds like a trick.
The other thing about the valley is because we're small.
Yeah,
we're the valley's small, so people could be driving by. I mean,
they see your car at the hotel. They're like, hey,
could be driving by and your car's at the hotel, midday. Why? So it's a lot of things. We're still very Mexican culture.
I guess.
You stay at the fanciest hotel when you stay at the same hotel as the artist.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so that is the fanciest hotel, the one we say there?
Well, I would have to say also we do have a DoubleTree.
The DoubleTree's all right.
We have a DoubleTree, nice. And then you stayed at the one in downtown McAllen. That was old.
What's her name? Jennifer Lopez stayed at this hotel. So
yes.
That's what they pride themselves on. So I guess.
How long ago? When was this?
The Selena movie. I
don't know. When she was in Living Color, or when was this? Yeah.
Before she got canceled, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Living Color.
Yeah, it was like, how long ago was this?
Her first marriage. Her first marriage.
Oh no!
So we had another question too, right? Whenever Nate was doing his questions, and somebody asked, if it is not the fourplexes, like, what is the investment opportunity, if there is any right now in RGB?
Okay. So we still have good price homes. We still have you can still get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. I was actually talking to somebody about that last night, and I was telling her you can still find a house under 200, at 200, where she said, oh wow, here in Houston you're looking at 3 to 4 for something like I described. And I said, yeah, so you still have some pretty decent homes, and again, they are still building them.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of people having them built, and a lot of custom homes still being built, and then having to be sold. for
Definitely.
X
Do you
reasons.
think that the Tesla project that is about an hour away from RGV is going to affect whatsoever the housing prices there? Because, you know, like here in Houston, people drive an hour to 2 hours sometimes every day to work, back and forth. So they come and live here and they work an hour or two outside of Houston. Do you see that happening with the Valley? Like now the Valley, the people from the Valley will have that extra income where they don't have to travel out 3 or 4 hours, 6 hours, where they can just drive an hour and the pay is pretty good there. Now they bring that back to RGV an hour away. Will that increase the price of the home? Because I did see that as an argument
Yeah.
under that
Yeah, I don't think so because the houses the Tesla project is an hour away, and you have to remember, and Nathan hates this about us, but in the Valley we don't drive very far.
15 minutes is
15
far
to 20 minutes. 20 minutes is far away for us.
Yeah.
So we're not, driving an hour for what? You move to Harlingen or Boca Chica in that area where the project is.
so you see people moving there, not necessarily driving
Mhm.
back and forth.
Yeah,
Okay.
and like Nate says, there's not a lot of local people that are working on the Tesla project. The local people are working in the restaurants and things like that, but most of the people coming to work at the Tesla project are coming from Houston, are coming from bigger cities. The engineers and things like that are coming from far away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
even though you have Brownsville and you have McAllen, right? They might as well be Texas and Oklahoma. I mean,
For sure.
like they do not.
They don't like each other.
Not that they don't like each
No.
other. It's just one doesn't have anything to do with the other. I mean, it's just like she said. I literally I drive 5 hours to get to McAllen, and I get there, and I'm like, hey, let's go eat at such and such. Oh, that's like 15 minutes away. I said, I just drove 5 hours.
Yeah.
What's 15 minutes? Let's do it. And she's like, it's late.
Yeah. And
That's everybody's mentality over there.
Not like here in Houston, an hour is anywhere. You're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
anywhere
yeah.
in Houston. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Well, you
different.
drive what, an hour and a half every day to get down here?
hour.
She lives out there in the country, right? So
was
it's like
telling
that's
me.
normal for us down here.